everyone, welcome to Models and Agents, episode 77 on June 11th, 2026. Let's see what shipped. The AI world never sleeps. Here's what you need to know today. Anthropic is asking governments to block unsafe frontier models and fund job transition programs while committing $350 million of its own money. The company published an essay titled The AI Exponential, along with 3 separate programs. One sets up mandatory third-party testing for cyber, bio, and autonomy risks on frontier models. Another seeds a $200 million fund to study labor impacts. The third launches a $150 million national fellowship program tomorrow for early career workers. Builders should watch how these proposals turn into licensing or deployment roles. The moves line up with new agent payment connections from Visa, Ripple, and JD.com that let agents finish purchases without people in the loop. Cohere released North Minicode, a 30 billion parameter Emster of Experts model. Only 3 billion parameters stay active at any time, and the model supports 256,000 tokens of context. It runs on a single H100 and marks Cohere's first open-weight coding model aimed at agentic workflows. Builders can compare it this week against current 7 billion to 13 billion parameter coding models to check where the extra capacity helps multi-step planning. Minimax plans to release open weights for its M3 model on Friday. No parameter count or license details have been shared yet. The announcement has already sparked discussion in local inference communities about expected VRAM requirements. Watch the Friday drop for direct comparisons against current open 30 billion to 70 billion models. Community members are preparing test setups to evaluate how the new weights perform in standard local environments once the files appear. News Research shipped the Hermes Agent Profile Builder. The dashboard creates full agent profiles including identity, model choice, skills, and MCP servers in one flow. It removes the old multi-step command line process and targets users who want repeatable setups without editing YAML files by hand. Early testers say they switch between base models and toolsets faster than before. TIDB launched the Agent State Stack at the Super AI Summit in Singapore. The stack adds persistent, queryable memory that survives across sessions and tool calls. It aims at teams moving agents from prototypes into long-running production work. The release supplies production-grade state handling that keeps facts available after restarts. Developers can now maintain indexed records of prior tool outputs without rebuilding context from scratch each time an agent resumes. The system separates temporary working data from durable facts that must remain accessible over multiple days. Visa connected its payment rails straight to ChatGPT. Agents can now browse merchant catalogs and finish checkout using existing Visa infrastructure without any human step. Merchants on the rails become reachable by autonomous agents right away. The integration routes recommendations directly into completed transactions inside the ChatGPT agent environment. Existing Visa merchant accounts require no additional setup to accept these agent-driven purchases. The connection removes the final confirmation step that previously required a person to approve every order. Ripple released an XRPL AI starter kit. The kit gives templates for on-chain agent wallets and transaction signing so agents can settle payments without approval. It targets developers building autonomous financial agents on the XRPL ledger. The templates include ready-made wallet creation flows and signed transaction examples. Builders receive starter code that connects directly to the XRPL network for agent-initiated transfers. The kit focuses on removing human approval gates from routine settlement steps. A developer posted an open-source ASR biasing implementation for local voice apps. The code injects custom vocabulary into prompts or parameters for Grok, Whisper.cpp, and DeepGram. The full project sits on GitHub under freestyle-voice/freestyle. The approach mirrors dictionary features from commercial tools like WhisperFlow. Users can supply domain terms that improve recognition accuracy during local dictation sessions. The implementation works across multiple transcription backends without requiring changes to the core model files. Local users are comparing a single Radeon 7 with 32 gigabytes against dual P100s with 48 gigabytes total. The tests focus on running mixture of experts models at Q8 quantization and whether the extra memory outweighs slower inference speeds. Several builders are measuring actual utilization on Quen and Gemma variants. The conversation centers on real-world trade-offs between single-card simplicity and multi-card capacity for larger MoE workloads. Participants are logging VRAM usage patterns during extended agentic coding or retrieval sessions. Results are being shared to help others decide on hardware upgrades for similar open-weight experiments. Remember, the show covered safety and policy developments yesterday. Today's Anthropic essay and funding moves extend that thread by turning earlier calls for evaluation standards into concrete proposals with revocation power and dedicated money. The open questions around US and EU regulatory paths and standardized testing now have specific timelines attached through the new fellowship and evaluation projects. Okay, let's pop the hood on agent state persistence. Most people picture agent memory as a simple append-only log. In practice, the design choices around durability, query speed, and consistency turn expensive fast. Long-running agents need both short-term scratch space and durable cross-session facts. Mixing the two either drops context or drives storage costs through the roof. A production stack therefore keeps an in-memory working set for the current run and a separate index store that mixes vector and relational data for facts that survive restarts. Adding the second layer adds 30 to 80 milliseconds per tool call for serialization and indexing. It also avoids replaying every prior step on every restart. The trade-off shows up once agents pass roughly 200 tool calls in one session. After that point, the cost of keeping everything in context exceeds the cost of selective persistence. Teams should start with a simple key value layer and add vector search only after they see repeated lookups of the same facts across sessions. Most early agent workloads never hit that threshold. Test Cohere North minicode on a multi-step coding agent task this week. Try the Visa and ChatGPT integration on a retail recommendation workflow if you have access to the ChatGPT agent builder. Add ASR biasing to a local voice app using the Freestyle Voice repo to check accuracy gains on domain terms. Spin up the TIDB agent state stack demo if you are moving an agent toward multi-day operation. Keep an eye on the Minimax M3 open weights drop expected Friday. The Anthropic $150 million National Fellowship Program launches tomorrow. Agent payment protocols from Visa, Ripple, and JD.com continue rolling out. Tomorrow, keep an eye on the first government responses to the Anthropic testing framework and any early funded evaluation projects that get announced. That wraps up today's AI briefing. Share this with a developer or builder who wants to stay current. Subscribe wherever you listen. See you tomorrow. And before you go, this show is part of the NARA Network, a family of daily podcasts covering tech, science, markets, and more. If you enjoyed today's episode, give Unintended Consequences a listen. True stories of good intentions that backfired. You can explore the whole lineup at neuranetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.